Well, welcome everybody, and thanks so much for coming. So, the north node of the moon, the homeward path, what is, from the evolutionary perspective, the single most important point in astrology. The point of your life, the purpose of your life is getting to the north node. There are those of us who get to the end of the trail and we lie on our deathbeds with a good feeling about the whole thing, with that feeling that we did what we came here to do and we learned what we came here to learn. And those people, the lucky winners, so to speak, the ones who did not spend their life in front of the television or chasing after money or looping old behavior patterns that never get them anywhere, the ones who get to the end of the trail with that good heart and win the grand prize, those are the ones who focused their intentions on the north node of the moon. They're the ones who did the hard, efficient, skillful, spiritual work that allows you to use every minute of your life in a way that is ultimately productive, not the productivity of this world, which produces very little beyond illusion, but the true productivity, the productivity of the soul, the evolution of consciousness. There is no more efficient pathway towards that than the north node of the moon. So, can I get an amen from the congregation? Okay, thank you, thank you. Well, north node of the moon is, among the astrological symbols, absolutely weird, absolutely unique, in that it has no inherent automatic meaning at all. You have a north node, it might just sit there and be that rarest of birds in the astrological aviary, which is an empty symbol, a symbol that doesn't mean anything. It's nothing really except a good idea. Nothing but a suggestion. It's like at the end of the cosmological diving board before you began this incarnation, God said, I've got one more thing I want to tell you before we kick you off the end of the diving board into incarnation, into this world. I've got a tip for you. If you can remember one thing, this is it. And God gave you that advice. That's your north node. Nothing but a good suggestion. Now, in the course of your life, you've received many good suggestions, which you have totally ignored, right? Me too, me too. And you're free to ignore this and loop the south node patterns. So very strange. Every other symbol in astrology has inherent meaning. Those of you who've studied with me before, those of you actually who got through the 6th grade, which I suspect is the vast majority of you, here's a line you've heard many times. I use it a lot myself. Energy can be neither created nor destroyed, only changed in form. The most fundamental principle of science, at least insofar as we can say it in English, conservation of energy. It works in astrology. The symbols of your chart, with the exception of the north node, are all energized points. They have meaning. The one thing they can't do is go away. Poof, sorry, I won't bother you anymore. Your Saturn conjunct the sun in the 12th house. I know I have a bad reputation, but don't worry. I'm not going to bother you. They can't do that. The energy has been created. That's your first breath of air, as this physical form of yours was charged with astrological energy. And so these things cannot disappear. They will do something. They can be changed in form. What changes their form is your consciousness, your intentions, your will. And of course, if your consciousness and your intentions are hell-bent on chasing the usual illusions of this world, well, you'll probably catch a few of them, and you'll take those energies in your chart and put them in service of those goals. Something will happen. Always something will happen. So, if, just to use a very simple example, we compare somebody with the sun in Pisces to somebody with the sun in Virgo. And speaking over thousands of people, individuality is of course always unique. But a general rule of thumb, if you have the sun in Pisces, you're going to spend 3 times more hours in the course of your life wondering where the car keys are. Compared to the Virgos, guaranteed 3 times more. How many, if you live 10 years, like how many weeks have you just pissed away on wondering where the car keys are if you're a Pisces, I'm being silly, but it's true, it's observable. Of course, if you're a Virgo, doesn't make you better than Pisces. You're going to spend 3 times more time worrying about things that were never going to happen anyway. There's the Virgo. Pisces, it probably won't happen, I'm being silly, but I'm also being real. It's an illustration of the fact that these energies will manifest somehow in the life. All of them, with the single exception of this magical point that we call the North Node. Nothing but a great idea.